happy, productive life, but sometimes we just need a little help. Our Coach On Call experts provide strategies to help you live your best life now. Joining me today is Heidi Rome, an autism mom coach and founder of Mom's Spectrum Oasis. Heidi's Autism Hope Mindset system empowers a mom to take back her life while creating a bright future for her Spectrum child. Heidi is here today to discuss the 4 agreements and the autism journey. Welcome, Heidi. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Joan. A pleasure to be here.
Heidi, today we're going to discuss the Don Miguel Ruiz book, The 4 Agreements, and why you believe this book applies to the autism journey. Before we focus on the actual agreements, generally speaking, why do you believe his words are relevant to those on the journey?
Well, many introspective people have heard about this book. The full name is The 4 Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. It's a personal development book that offers a code of conduct based on ancient Toltec wisdom that advocates freedom from self-limiting beliefs that may cause suffering and limitations in a person's life. Its premise is that everything a person does is based on agreements they have made with themselves, with others, with God, and with life itself. In these agreements, we may tell ourselves who we are, how to behave, what is possible and what is impossible. Now, many agreements are fine, but some come from a place of fear that affects a person's mindset and behavior, and so can then deplete that person's emotional energy and self-worth. And the short term for that depletion of emotional energy and self-worth is suffering. So, Joan, as you know, in my work, I discuss how society's tragedy narrative of autism creates suffering among autism moms and our families all the time. So I was struck by the parallels with the 4 agreements and realized how useful its principles could be when applied to living one's life on the autism journey. After all, as an autism mom myself and an autism mom coach, I view everything through that lens. How can this help me and my autistic child live an easier, happier life, reduce my suffering? And if it can help me, how can it help other families who share this journey?
So, Heidi, let's look at these agreements. And I want to preface this by saying Don Miguel has been on this show a number of times, and I love this book, and I like how you're applying it to moms who are on the autism journey. So let's start with the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. How does this agreement apply to someone who's on the journey?
Ruiz states that this agreement, as you know, you've heard him say this yourself, that this agreement is the most important and is the most difficult one to honor. The Latin roots of the word impeccable mean without sin. Ruiz describes a sin to be anything that goes against oneself, and therefore being impeccable with language means to take responsibility for one's actions and to remain without judgment against oneself and others. In essence, this agreement focuses on the significance of speaking with integrity and carefully choosing one's words, considering their impact before saying them aloud. It means you have integrity. You mean what you say, and you say what you mean. Therefore, being impeccable with your words means you can be trusted. And trust is the foundation of all relationships, all connections, all learning, all building, and moving forward. And this is true for all of life's journey, whether it's the autism path or not. We autism moms know very well how powerful words are. The right word at the right time can encourage our children to stay strong in the face of adversity, or can inspire a teacher or therapist to try a new approach if another is not working. It is the key to connection and creating new possibilities. On the other hand, the ill-considered word can end relationships, generate anger and resistance, and destroy hopeful potential as surely and rapidly as a wildfire destroys forests. Autism moms, I'd say, have a heightened awareness of the power of language because so many of us have kids who cannot speak, or who have unpredictable language, or who have other communication and relationship challenges. When every word coming out of your child's mouth is precious, you develop a new appreciation for this extraordinary gift that distinguishes humankind from the animals.
And Heidi, what about the next agreement, which is don't take anything personally?
This agreement always makes me smile because it reminds me that I tend to take everything personally.
So do I.
Especially, right?
Yeah.
Well, especially other people's words and actions toward me. It's so human because doesn't it really feel personal? Isn't it obviously about me? How self-centered we humans can be. The fact is that each of us is operating in a world of our own unique perceptions, reactions, and interpretations of reality. This means that what we say and do is a reflection of who we are more than it is a reaction to the external world. So if someone says or does something that hurts our feelings, we can step back and consider what's going on with them that they would say or do that. This is about them, not me. So, Joan, I gave the example during one of our Autism Journey chats, a common experience that I had. It's a common experience among autism families of having some family and friends disappear in the aftermath of the autism diagnosis. Of course, this feels very hurtful. Yet, according to agreement number 2, the decision of some individuals to disappear is not about you or your autistic child personally. It is a reflection and result of how they feel and react in the face of another's grief or difficulty based on their own lives and beliefs. What kind of day were they having when they said or did X? When we don't take things personally, we can step back and have compassion for other people's fears and limitations. This protects us from suffering, from feeling so sad and angry and disappointed when our expectations are not met. When we let go of compulsively needing to control what other people think of us, we are independent and free to say and do exactly what we feel and think according to our own inner compass that is quietly always guiding us toward our highest good, when we can listen to it and not to other people.
Heidi, I hate to say this, but we are out of time for today. But I want to continue this conversation. So the next time Heidi is back on the show, we will talk about the 3rd and 4th agreements. In the meantime, if you would like more information about Heidi and her work, you can visit momsspectrumoasis.com. That's moms with an S. Or as always, you can hear more from Heidi by visiting our website, cyacyl.com/Heidi. We'll be right back.